What is up, everybody, and welcome to Studio de Jeffrey. That's me. I'm Jeff Cavanaugh. Hey, here in a couple of hours, depending on when you watch this, I will be at Happiest Hour in Dallas, Victory Park, right by the American Airlines Center, and we'll be covering Night 2 of the NFL Draft on 97.1 The Freak. Get up in there, or check the iHeartRadio app if you're out of the listening area, okay? Okay. Hey, this is going to be just a quick preview of Night 2. I wanted to do something. I didn't want to do it live because my teammates at 97.1 The Freak are on air right now, but I did want to just pop out there a quick reaction to the Mazi Smith draft pick and a quick preview of Day 2. This presentation brought to you by my friends at BetOnline, where last night you could have gone broke or made $1 billion, depending how good you are at the draft, because we had prop bets all over the place on BetOnline, and it was lots of fun. Also, the Stars are playing tonight. Get in on that NHL action, the NBA action, the UFC, the golf, the whatever. They got you covered. BetOnline.ag, or you can join from your mobile device. Just make sure you use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for a 50% bonus on that first sign up, okay? Rock and roll. Now, Cowboys take Mazi Smith. Hey, Jeff, how you feel? Okay. I know you're supposed to go, God, I can't believe they took a two-down player. Or you're supposed to go, they have fixed everything and they're going to win the Super Bowl. I feel okay. If you have, and maybe I'll put it in the description of the video, a link to the guys that I have watched, evaluated, and graded. I had a few guys I would have taken over Mazi Smith if I were the Cowboys, but I'm not the GM of the Cowboys. Joey Porter Jr., Nolan Smith, that's my top two guys that were available. But then we do the Cowboys thought process, and the Cowboys thought process could very well be, because I do believe that they had Nolan Smith graded higher than Mazi Smith, but their thought process could be, we have restructured more contracts this offseason than pretty much ever before. Moving Michael Gallup's money was kind of surprising to me, because I would think with the way that he played coming off the ACL last year, you would not want to be locked into longer term having to have him around. You might want out of that after this season. They kind of took that ability away from themselves by moving his money around to make space, to have cap space, to get Brandon Cooks, to get Stephon Gilmore. This is the Cowboys version of all in. It's not as extreme as the way a lot of teams do it, but this is their version of that. So I do think it makes for a cleaner operation. If you say, hey, our first round pick, if it were Nolan Smith, for example, well, Tank Lawrence and Micah are starting. Do we think that Nolan Smith on day one is better than Sam Williams? My gut says yes. They might say no. Are we going to force him to take snaps from Dorrance Armstrong and Dante Fowler? It wasn't a need position, but it's a valuable position and what I thought was a really good prospect. So I loved Nolan Smith. Joey Porter Jr., for him to get on the field, it takes an injury. But I wanted him because of fear of that injury. With Mazi Smith, it's a clean operation. It's, hey, where's he going to play? And the answer is in front of Jonathan Hankins, and sometimes with Jonathan Hankins. He's our starting nose tackle. He ideally is also going to be able to turn into a guy that takes away people's ability to, when Micah Parsons keeps beating you as a pass rusher, just step forward and be clean. Be like, yeah, no problem. I'll just throw from here. So the Cowboys don't like that teams enjoyed running the ball against them, that they were 22nd in the league in yards per game. I care more about yards per carry, but the yards per game matters because it means the teams wanted to run the ball on you because they didn't want to give Micah Parsons and crew an opportunity to tee off. If you make that more challenging for them, great. If you have a guy now that can push the pocket and use his athleticism that in college did not translate into backfield production, partially because of what they asked him to do, but if in the NFL and with Dan Quinn, I can push that pocket and I can penetrate a little bit, then maybe I can help my run defense and my pass rush and the linebackers behind me, help them stay clean to make more plays. So how do I feel about the Mazi Smith pick? I'm cool. There were probably 2 to 6 players I liked better, but I totally understand their thought process. And if it's true that he was the 13th or 14th player on their board, then they probably did it right. You can just agree if you like to, and if you've watched these guys, you could disagree with how they've evaluated them. But if they picked their 13th or 14th best player at 26, you're good, guys. Plus, they're right more often than they're wrong. Quick preview of night 2 of the NFL draft. What are the Cowboys going to do? Not many people do mock drafts going into night 2 because it takes a lot of work, but my buddy Dane Brugler does. He has Iowa tight end Sam Laporta going to the Cowboys. Before round 1, they had a lot of smoke around tight end And the Cowboys did a really good job of probably generating that smoke on their own, and it wasn't true, which, man, this is new. Shout out to Mike McCarthy. They're not actually telling everybody what they want to do and showing their draft board. But I do think tight end's 100% in play for them. Whether that is, I'm going to give you 5 names because the only tight end off the board so far is Dalton Kincaid. I think he would have been fun in the Cowboys offense to have the best pass-catching tight end in this draft class. Would have been fun. There are 5 other guys that I think are worth being picked in the top 58 picks. So, Darnell Washington, Georgia tight end, 6'6.5", 270 pounds, monster, blocker, athlete. Michael Mayer, Notre Dame, incredibly well-rounded, can win for the underneath routes, contribute as a blocker, just a really nice player. Luke Musgrave, another one of those guys. He's 6'6", 250-some-odd pounds, 4.61 guy, 10-yard split was really good. So athletic, big, pass catcher. We like it. Other 2 guys, Tucker Kraft, South Dakota State, 6'5", over 250 pounds, 4'6 guy. So you've got the size. He shows, it was at South Dakota State, so it's not the same as in the NFL, but he does show some ability as a blocker and some big-time production as a pass catcher. Last one, Sam Laporta, Iowa. He's the smallest of the group in terms of height. He's 6'3". All these other guys are 6'4.5", 6'5.5", 6'6.5". All the other guys are bigger, but Sam Laporta was the best tackle breaker of tight ends in college football last year. So if you want guys who give you more than just catch it, fall down, Sam Laporta. That is 5 names that I think are worthy of being picked in the next 30 picks in this NFL draft. Now, my goals for the Cowboys going into the draft. I had 5 of them. I don't have them in front of me, but I bet I can think of them as I go because it's just what I think about their football team. I wanted their first 3 to 4 picks to fall somewhere in the group of filling these needs. Upgrading the defensive tackle group. Bingo! Done. Upgrading the tight end group if it's a potential starter. So to me, if the Cowboys are going to pick a tight end in this round, cool, because I think it will be your best tight end on the roster. If you go past this round, that might not be true anymore, and I might say, don't worry about it. Roll with what you got. Wide receiver, they can compete to be a top 3 wide receiver, be in the top 4. Now, in a dream world, the Cowboys go, we're going to give Jalen Tolbert another year, and we do think that he's going to contribute. It's just last year makes that really tough to sell people on. But if they can pull that off, and if he can pull that off, that would be great. So tight end, wide receiver upgrade, outside corner, and maybe that is something that you could get in the 3rd or 4th round, but I'm looking for somebody that can survive out there in NFL games because when you lost Anthony Brown, things got bad on the outside. The pass defense got bad on the whole when you lost Anthony Brown. So that's tight end, wide receiver, corner, D-tackle's done. I had one more. Tight end, receiver, corner, linebacker-ish. You lost Gifford, but they've got guys on the roster that could do that, and you're probably going to run out of names that you think would step in and start, so linebacker's probably good. What am I missing? Pass rush is good. Safeties are good. Outside corner, maybe linebacker. Oh, offensive line. 6th starting caliber offensive lineman. Names to watch on the offensive line. Let me get back to my guys. Matt Bergeron, Syracuse. He may very well be the next tackle off the board, so you may not have a shot at him, but I think he's a offensive tackle in college that I'd play at guard in the NFL. That's a nice player. I shouldn't have said him first because he's actually 3rd or 4th on my rankings here, but Osiris Torrance, Florida, guard. Steve Avila, TCU, guard. Cody Mock, North Dakota State left tackle. For me, he's an NFL guard. Joe Tippmann, who played center at Wisconsin, I think he can play guard. John Michael Schmantz, center at Minnesota, who I think could play guard. Those are all guys I think are worthy of pick 58. I would throw in the name Chandler Zavala at NC State if you're talking about the 3rd round, and since we're previewing tonight, both those rounds are relevant. Corners, Cam Smith, Joey Porter Jr., Julius Brents, Kansas State, is a 6'3" guy that's a really good athlete. Not straight line fast, but really good athlete. Turner at, don't get me lost here, Michigan corner. I should probably put their team names when you put 150 names in front of you on a board. Ringo at Georgia, Stevenson at Miami, Quan Martin at Illinois, Darius Rush at South Carolina. So many different dudes there that could line up and play corner for you inside or outside. So we like that. If you're picking a linebacker, keep an eye on Overshone out of Texas in the 3rd round. Keep an eye on Trenton Simpson, Drew Sanders, Dion Henley in the 2nd round. I'm good on the defensive line. Running backs. Here's the thing about running back. Are you guys ready for the running back that if you're going to take a running back and it's going to be the Cowboys and they're going to take one in the 3rd or 4th round, you ready for the guy that I want them to pick? Okay, ready? Here we go. His name is Zach Charbonnet, Devin A-Chain, Tyjae Spears, Roshan Miller, Kendre Miller, Tank Bigsby, Israel Abanikanda, Eric Gray, Zach Evans, Dwayne McBride, Deuce Vaughn, blah, 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 blah. Just a guy. The 2 game changers are gone, but there's still NFL running backs in this draft, and there's a bunch of them because that's the way that position work. So, quick day 2 preview for you. Presentation brought to you by my friends at BetOnline. I love you guys. Enjoy the draft. I will be on the air here in about 2 hours because here it's almost 5 o'clock Central. But regardless, enjoy this thing, and let's just see what happens. Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everyone. I love you. Bye.